everybody. I should be, I believe, up and running. Gonna check on that now. I tried to post in MeWe that I'd be starting soon, and I guess I didn't post quite the right way to get a notice out. But I'm back, and hopefully we can have a nice walk. Still very sunny here, and it's breezy here, and I don't know if we'll see much, but I have seen, since I arrived, seen or heard red-winged blackbirds, which we're hearing now, mourning doves, robins, some cedar waxwings, and that's just about it. So let's see if we can take a walk. I'm bringing an extra camera with me, so it's more to carry, but you never know. I'm hoping that maybe we'll see something that makes it worthwhile. Let me just get things situated here. Okay. All right, let's see how this works. Again, I'm carrying some extra gear, including a tripod, which is admittedly a pain to carry. Oh, come on, wire. But hopefully we'll have reason, hopefully we'll see something that will make it worth the trouble. So welcome, everybody, to Sapsucker Woods. You can hear the cedar waxwings, the high-pitched vocalizations. I can't duplicate them, but I think I see some common grackles in the air, a couple of them, 2 or 3. Oh, and I did hear a blue jay earlier, and I just saw a blue jay. I'm hearing some chip notes, I believe, of a cardinal, but I may be wrong. I think I just saw a cardinal. Hello.
How you doing this year?
Not bad. How about you?
Not bad.
Good. I may have just seen a starling. I'm not sure. Oh, just heard a song sparrow. I just saw a cardinal, a male. I may have seen a female moments before when I first mentioned seeing one. Am I hearing a tufted titmouse? I think so. It's in here somewhere. Oh, I think there were 2 of them, and they just flew away. Okay. Common grackle, common grackle. Mourning dove. I made a stop on the way. Quite honestly, my estimate for time was poor anyway. I miscalculated. But I made a stop anyway to look for something and didn't see it, so I moved on. Just heard what I believe was an American goldfinch. I should look in the feeding garden a bit. Again, things are overgrown, but I think I see a house finch and an American goldfinch. Oh, there it went. the house finch, but the American goldfinch is still there, and now there's a blue jay there. Excuse me. Hearing a cardinal. And someone, I can hardly see my screen because of just my own reflection on it. Out in there. Let's go towards the water. Just heard a mourning dove. Didn't hear its call. Well, I did hear a mourning dove call earlier, but I didn't hear the mourning dove's call. I heard its wings. And I do hear one singing now. But it's pretty easy to recognize the sound of a mourning dove's wings as it takes flight. I hear something. It sounds like maybe young in a nest. I don't see it, but oh, Canada goose. A couple of them, there's at least. Oh, and more. Hi. Cute. Young are getting nice coloration in. Okay, good to see them. And I'm going to have a look around. Now, it's very sunny, but let me look around as best I can. I mentioned the sun because sometimes the glare here can be tough. Oh, somebody just... I don't know what kind of flycatcher that is. It looks like a flycatcher. Let me see if I can look at it better with binoculars. It just flew on. I didn't get a very good look. Spaghetti is difficult to eat. Okay. Hold on, I gotta sit you down. Well, let me see some here on my binoculars. Oh, no, there's a big smudge on my binoculars. I don't know if I can do anything about it right now on the lens. Catbird, right here. Don't know if you can see it. I can hardly see my screen, as I said, but that's a gray catbird. and we're going to move along. Let me just have one more. You know, I'm going to set you down and see if I can clean up my binoculars. 1 second. Not bad. Okay. I shouldn't have done that, but not bad. Okay, but I don't see all that much going on except for these beautiful geese. So we're gonna hit the trails and see if we can. What was that? Hold on. Hold on. I think that was. Well, it may have been the Catholic. I was hoping that they would all just go and stand on that fallen tree, fallen log, whatever, but no. Okay, let's get to the trails. And oh, someone saw a woodpecker of some sort, I think, come into the trees near the feeding garden. I can't see it now, too many leaves. I don't know what it was. It was not, I don't believe it was affiliated, for instance, but I couldn't tell what kind it was. Let's hit the trails. Oh, shoot. Tripod got caught on things. Let me reconnect in 1 second. Caught on the wires and disconnected things. What a surprise. But I was seeing the oh, come on. There we go. Seeing trying to get a focus on this flycatcher. That's not too bad. Oh, come on, come on, come on. And the other one's still, well, I was going to say it was still there on that branch, and they're both gone now. I'm not sure what kind of flycatchers they are, to be honest. If I had to guess. Oh, there's one. I don't know if I'll be able to focus on it. I believed we had time. Maybe I'd switch cameras. That's the best look we had. And one's still there. What do you got going? Switch hands here. terms of temperature, I don't remember exactly what the temperature is, but here in the woods, certainly. But even out there more in the sunshine, it's very comfortable here with that breeze. Feels pretty good. I believe the forecast for today had the temperatures actually a little warmer in Montezuma than here in Ithaca. Not that it was hot there. I have to say I was disappointed by what we were able to see in Montezuma and the various locations. As I made my way here, I thought, I wonder if that was just a waste of time overall. Still, I think I would have had the question, what might I have missed if I hadn't gone? It seemed to me, I could be wrong, but I think all the water, all the rain this, spring, and maybe it's just some of it has to do with the rain of the last few days, but like in some areas of Cayuga Lake, as I drove by, the color looked reddish, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't just a trick of the sunlight or something like that. I mean, there were areas that really were off color. The area closer to Stewart Park looks like the water's just muddy. And that maybe makes sense, given all the water that's been flowing into the lake from like Fall Creek, for instance. It's maybe understandable, but I'm talking even closer to Montezuma, where it does get shallower. But it's some areas, like I said, were reddish in color, so you wonder what's growing there, if it's bad to swim in. I wouldn't want to swim in it. And again, I bet that the water's pretty cold anyway. I mean, it is still only June, and I'll bet the water's chilly. And we've still been having some cooler nights, like just last night was fairly cool. Woods are quiet. I'm not hearing anyone singing or calling. Maybe some birds in the distance, but some of that is being drowned out by the wind noise. And it sounds like a vireo up ahead. I think I just saw a mosquito. I'll bet it saw me too. So I may be wrong, but I believe it's a red-eyed vireo we're hearing sing. The wind makes things more difficult in a couple different ways today. Not only is there the noise, but just as, leaves move in the air, shadows also move. So I can't, maybe normally I might be able to say, okay, any movement I should look at right away. But now, you can see a lot of things seem to be moving, and when you're talking about, finding a thrush walking on the ground, it's that much more difficult under these conditions to see it. Hold on, I'm going to adjust some gear here. Digging into my side. Don't know if I can do anything about it. Yeah, that's a little better, I think. You can see there's these areas where, it's happened before, but there's water on the ground, standing water. So things haven't been that dry. The trail is still a little damp. I should be looking more up, maybe in the trees. Like I said, it's quiet here in the woods. Almost no song or calls. Oh, I just heard a wood thrush. Didn't sound like it was very close, but it was good to hear it anyway. But it's singing. Good to hear. I'm a big fan, actually. Did I just hear it again? Or maybe another one? I think just one. Why bother to bring along the other camera and carry a tripod? Well, just like, why did we go to the various locations in Montezuma? Because there's a chance we'll see something worthwhile. And I thought, well, since we are here a little early compared to, many other weeks, I thought maybe we'll take a longer, at least a bit of a longer walk today. And who knows, maybe we'll see something and maybe we won't. Something I'm hearing that almost sounded like a young red-tailed hawk. Almost. But I don't think so. Here, a cardinal. Maybe two. Haven't been here in a while. It's actually maybe the first time we've been here all year. I believe it is. Could be wrong. I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. Try and stop me. You can see how lush this area is. I think it's probably a little bit more grown in than I really like to see it. I think I'd like to see it maybe a week or two earlier than this. A couple weeks maybe. But look at these ferns. You feel like, as I've mentioned before, you walk across this bridge, which is something clearly, man-made. But then on either side you see something that looks like, well, these huge ferns. I mean, you almost think it's like prehistoric or something. I actually don't even know if they're technically ferns, but maybe they are, maybe they aren't. I have to admit, we usually don't see much here on this bridge, but every once in a while we might see something. And by the way, it's not just because we're not here all that often. Just in my time coming to Sapsucker, it's been more scenery than birds here. But like I said, occasionally we might catch a glimpse of something really neat. I just heard something. At least I thought I did, unless it was just the creaking of the I just heard a hairy woodpecker, and I hear a crow. As nice as this all looks, I really don't like the looks of it in late summer and early fall. It gets to be overgrown, ugly. I just don't like it. Just saw some plants move in a way I wouldn't expect. Now maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was just the rain, but could have been just the wind, I don't know. Chipmunk. Mosquitoes are all over here. Wish this frog would eat them. Like monkey. I didn't realize your friend was there. Mosquitoes are going all crazy on me, so let's go. I can hear at least a couple crows right now. Muddy here. You know, we may not be seeing very many birds, but somehow I'm enjoying the walk. It's comfortable here. Kind of like the frog. I feel they're up ahead by the sound of it. I wonder what's going on with those crows. Could be just, you know, the crows on their own, but they could be seeing something and maybe objecting, who knows. Something came undone. Don't know exactly how. Yeah, I do. Tripod. Got caught, and you got lost. So hopefully you're back. I'd rather carry a heavier tripod, quite honestly. Boy, this is really muddy. And the scope, which I do not have with me, but you know, that means some kind of this is really muddy. I could walk it, but maybe I'll skip it. I'm not seeing anything here anyway, or hearing anything. Let's head back. But anyway, that would mean, you know, either a cart or wagon or something, which I didn't bring with me today. Didn't think I'd end up using it. It's not that I mind pulling such things around, but it can be heavy and really literally a drag, and especially if we don't end up using it, it feels like a real waste. But I have to say, when we do end up using it, it's usually something special. We see great blue herons often enough at Montezuma that we get close-ups of them and everything like that. Other birds like green herons, not so much. So, if anything, the best green heron close-ups I've had have been here at Sapsucker. Great blue heron, I've had, you know, great close-ups here and elsewhere. Not much here as usual. Rarely do we see anything in these secondary ponds. And this one's always covered with, or you know, much of the time, covered with the duckweed. And the next one we end up coming across when we walk this way generally has nothing on top of it. And we'll see if that holds true. We haven't seen it this year, so at least not, you know, not truly in the warmer months. And we'll see if it's covered or not. I might be hearing something. What am I hearing? It sounds like maybe possibly young at a nest. I'm not sure. Just heard a song sparrow, and someone, robin I think, just landed on the trail ahead of us. Hold on. Looks like it. Oh, just heard a common yellowthroat. Good. Now, is it nearby? Another robin. Sounds like the yellowthroat's in a little ways. So maybe there will be no seeing that. They're hard enough to see even when they're nearby. They, you know, they're normally in the underbrush or whatever, not within clear view. We've had a few decent looks at them this season. But I can say I would appreciate a nice long look one of these days. It's probably easier and better, well, not better necessarily, well, yeah, better, easier to get a good look earlier in the spring for a couple of reasons. I think they sing a little bit more often. You hear more of them singing. And also, it's the vegetation is that much less likely to be filled in with, large leaves. So you have a better chance, I think, at seeing them. That's true of the various warblers and other birds that will go to, and spend time in bushes and underbrush. Well, really true of all the birds that go in the trees too, obviously. We're now in summer. Okay, that's fine, and things aren't overgrown and ugly yet. Not dried out certainly, but eventually there comes a time, usually August, when it's like, okay, I'm not seeing much anymore. The birds aren't singing like they used to because they're really more interested in the singing and everything and all that's involved with the breeding season, earlier in the spring, except for a couple late breeders. And so sometimes at least I start to look forward to, the fall. And although we might still see, interesting things in August, like, maybe herons of various sorts, etc., depending on where we go and our luck. But very often you start looking forward to just the change of seasons and getting back to migration. And yeah, that means colder weather coming. But maybe it's winters like this last one, which were actually mild, relatively. There were a few cold days, but it really wasn't bad. Maybe it's things like that make me think, oh, winter's not so bad. And I have to say, bird watching wise, I really enjoyed this past winter. I mean, just the attempts to see snowy owls and snow geese that we saw, things like that. I really enjoyed. Going, as I've spoken before, I mean, not only did we see, snow geese, snowy owls, but even times on Cayuga Lake, maybe more eagle activity and duck activity. So overall, I have to say I did enjoy the last set of colder months. I mean, there are things that are annoying. I mean, you have to deal with the cold, bundle up, worry about freezing hands and things like that. I understand that, but no bugs. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to come here across the road. Certainly not seeing anything. I don't believe now that I think about it, I don't think I've looked at a single bird here. We've heard some, but I don't believe I've actually seen, oh, well, the robins. One or two robins. That's it. Neat to come over on this side. You know, you feel like you've walked, you know, long distances and everything, and I guess you have walked a fair amount, but then you realize, oh, I'm right near Sapsucker Woods Road again. Okay, just heard a nuthatch and a common yellow throat. And I see a gray catbird here. Okay. Right here. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, it just moved. I hear the nuthatch. Okay, I can't really see the nuthatch or the gray catbird anymore, and the nuthatch, I don't know where it is. But you can hear it. Sounds like the common yellowthroat is on the other side of this pond. Really, it's been only a couple times when we've seen ducks on this pond. Rarely do we see any bird activity here, for whatever reason. You wonder if there's just nothing there of interest to them. Maybe it's too deep, you know, to have ducks come in here for vegetation. I don't know. Maybe it's something in the water. There may be two nuthatches vocalizing. I believe there are. Well, it's a great thing I brought that other camper. It's when I don't bring it that I need it. sometimes in the fall this can be just a beautiful sight. The pond does stay clear, no lily pads or anything, so if the trees color up, they can be beautiful, reflecting on the pond like that. Ugh, mud. Over here. May not be seeing many birds, but it's certainly a beautiful day here. It really is. I think I'm not going to take the long way back. I'm going to take the shorter way just because it's getting annoying to carry all this stuff. For a moment, I was tempted to say, all right, maybe what we'll do is use only the other camera that I still haven't used here today. But that can be kind of a clumsy endeavor. I think. Still hearing, I just heard that call again. It sounds kind of like a red-tailed hawk juvenile, but like just a single call rather than like a repeated one. Okay, did you hear it? What time is it? 5:45. Okay, that wood thrush sounded a little closer. Sounds a little different than a regular wood thrush though, so I wonder. Oh, and I heard a veery. Hold on. Oh, it's chipmunk. Okay, it does sound like a wood thrush, but somehow the call is a little different. Sounds like it's in there a little ways, so I don't know if I might get lucky and see it, but I don't see it. But you can hear farther away, there's a veery singing. Hold on, I want to deal with a couple things. Hold on. I'm going to be singing any longer nearby, wood thrush wise. Maybe a chipmunk, but I heard somebody on the ground here. You know, other birds that we haven't heard like an ovenbird yet. Maybe we will, but we haven't heard one yet. But maybe as the, you know, we're not going to be here that much longer here at Sapsucker, but maybe as the day progresses, gets a little bit later. We're a little closer to that veery apparently, and I can hear it a little better. Sounds like it's in there a little ways, and now is, oh, maybe a second veery. Yes, there's another veery in that direction. I don't believe either one is going to be very close. We're unlikely to see either one, but we can listen. Yeah, it's in there a little ways. I can't see it from here. It's not just the distance itself, it's the vegetation between us. We'll keep moving. And I think another veery up ahead. Or somewhere down there. Good to hear the veeries today. Veery, if you're forgetting, is a thrush. It looks a lot like a wood thrush. Not exactly. There's some differences. It's paler overall without the spots, or at least not without the really defined spots on the breast that the wood thrush has. I believe they may be a little smaller, but I'm not sure. Beautiful birds, and they have a beautiful song. And as I've mentioned before, I've once saw a program where they slowed down. I'm not sure what else they did to the veery's song, and you hear it and it's like, okay, fine, and then you hear it after they treat it and it's just, oh my goodness, that's amazing. Just the various sounds that are all a part of their song. It's like I said, it's amazing. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet here in the woods. I mean, you're not hearing a lot of woodpeckers or any of the other birds you might hear, chickadees and nuthatches and tufted titmice. I'm just not hearing them. I'm not saying that they're not here, but we're not seeing or hearing right now. We may see, as we get closer to the pond, we may see some of them. Thinking mostly of chickadees, actually. I'm not sure how much time I'm going to have in the coming weeks for either extra visits to the campus or even a tour on the weekends. As I've mentioned recently, got a lot of stuff going on, so we may actually have to skip a weekend or two, believe it or not. My schedule isn't set yet, I just know it's full. It ain't up to me. But I'll try to be around as much as I can. I was glad to be able to visit the campus the other night, Tuesday night, and I'm glad to be able to be here today. Creepy hearing. Hope it didn't do that because of me. It might have. Good to see though. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it. This is part of the main pond, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see it elsewhere in the main pond. I don't see it yet, but it may have flown over the, out of our view. Okay, let me have a quick look with binoculars. I'm not seeing anything right off the bat, but you never know, maybe there's something worth looking at. Just heard a red-bellied woodpecker. Chance I see something, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's anything or not. Sorry, it's hard to hold still because of the camera trying to help me, believe it or not. Sometimes it doesn't help. Let me look at it again with binoculars. I don't know. It's either a turtle or a green heron. I think, maybe. I don't know. Or nothing at all. Okay, could be just some leaves. You know what? I don't recall seeing this here. Actually, I don't know if have we seen mallard ducklings? I don't believe so. I don't recall seeing any, and I don't recall seeing any wood duck ducklings. We've seen Canada goose goslings, but I don't recall seeing any ducklings. Maybe my memory's off, but maybe somebody out on the Sherwood platform. Yep. That was a downy woodpecker. Hello.
Hi.
Hello. Excuse me.
کاری دیگه دارن کارشون نگاهشون مثلا اینه که اگه بدون که صرفش هم می‌کنیم 5 هفته من از ریسرچ ها و اینا استفاده می‌کنم رو پابلیک معرفیشون می‌کنم از این شغل‌ها اینجوریه آره دفترشون که دانتون آره گفت که بیا چیکار می‌کنی مثلا می‌خواد کاری که می‌کنه ریسرچ به چیز کنه بعد من نیجریه هم هست سیاپوس و
همه این انقدر آدم خوبیه
خیلی چیزیه
یعنی من آخرش دیگه اینجوری بودم دیگه روز برم
اینو از بس چیزه
اینقدر سوشیال دوست دارن مثلا با همه حرف بزنن فقط که بچه میکنه طرف حالا کی باشه واقعا
به دیدگاهی رسیده که
حرف بزنن مثلا آیدیاشون رو مثلا شیر کنه ببین کتاب شاهنامه ایران خونده بود
چند روز پیش کتاب خیام و ترجمه انگلیسیش که اتوبوس داشت و من گفتم خون فارسیشو برام پیدا کنی بعد رفتم میگرام
see any herons within view. I was hoping to see one.
اینجوری یعنی خیلی ذوق داره شعر میگه بعد یه شنبه تو جولای موزیک دارم
آره
I see a belted kingfisher.
ببین یه میتینگ دیگه برام ست کرد همون لحظه خودشم بود منو میام دوشنبه
A fake heron. It's a female. You can tell by the additional brown striping. The male legs.
ایرانو میگم مثل ببین یه چیزی نقاشی ذره داره میره بالا دوست دارن
نقاشی اگر که کپی نکنن اصلا من نمیدونم چه اینطوری برو خودتو برو
Okay, we're gonna get going.
من هرچی برمیش به روزه کسی نیست هر بزرگه تو هرچی تو ریسرچ هرچی تو اینقدر راه هست برو خود رو خفه کن
یعنی هیچکی تو این دنیا جای بیشتر نمیگیره یا
Something just flew through into the woods there. Didn't get a good look at it. It was a darker bird. I don't know what it would have been. There's a robin right here. But that's not what I saw. Didn't even see the robin until I believe it booped and I caught sight of that. said, I mean, maybe we're not seeing all that many birds, but it is just a beautiful day here. I mean, just temperature is wonderful, and it's light breeze. I mean, if you're just here for a walk, today's the day. It's just gorgeous here. I hear something, I'm not sure what. I don't hear it now. I'm not sure if I'm hearing an eastern bluebird or not. I might be. I can't hear anything with the road noise.